Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay. Oh, that's not. Ah, I love it. I love streaming. Oh, this doesn't fit all the way, huh? So, hello, good morning. Welcome to GM Prep on a good old Saturday morning. How are all of you? Just watch as I fucking try to... Is it... Okay, so this is a brand new setup compared to... Okay, not necessarily. I'm just talking about the overlay that I'm using. I just did it this morning to include my brand new logo. And I didn't measure it, I guess. Anyway, I think this works out. Hi. All right, GM Prep. This is GM Prep. So the two games that we're going to be prepping, I play them on Sunday and Monday with two different groups. I play a session of Curse of Strahd, the D&D 5th edition module, and I play a... Yeah, it's a brand new system. I wouldn't say brand new, but it's an indie system called GUBAT BANWA, and let's take a look at the description for GUBAT BANWA. We have the hotfixes right here. But, alright, here we go. GUBAT BANWA is a tactical martial arts and war drama role-playing game set in a heroic fantasy setting inspired by classical Philippines. Wow! Oh, it's so cool. So, like, I'm Filipino-American, and very often I feel so disconnected from Filipino culture. Like, I don't even know any Tagalog or Ilocano, and I know nothing. I feel so disconnected. But I have this. This is definitely something, you know what I mean? I will grab on to any small thread of Filipino culture I possibly can, in order to feel something, right? But it's a fun mix of, right, inspired by Final Fantasy Tactics Ogre, Fire Emblem Ruby, Dungeons and Dragons 4E, Exalted, Sengoku Basara, and Wuxia novels. So this is all like combat tactics type deal, and it's very fun. We already played. Let's go to the map. This is the world map. We've already played a little bit of the game. We've played a little bit of combat. We've played a little bit of preparation stage. We've had a couple of role-playing moments. And I've got the players here all this time. I'm drinking tea. I need that caffeine. Hello, Bandu! It's so good to see you. Always good to see you in my streams. We're doing some DM prep. This is the map of our last fight. There were a lot more. Oh, let's look at all the dead bodies. There they are. Look at all these guys. These were all of the units that my players killed. Every single, yeah, I think that's every single one of them. And then there's a couple more here. Oh, gotta move this guy. There it is. I want to learn D&D. Are you a DM? Yes, I am a DM. I'm a game master. I feel like DM, Dungeon Master, is more of like a D&D specific term, but yeah, I'm a game master with 3 years experience under my belt. I've been playing tabletop for about like 3.5 to 4 years, and the majority of that has been like forever DMing. But like currently I have 3 games that I'm playing right now. 2 of them I'm DMing. I'm DMing this GUBAT BANWA game, and I'm DMing a D&D Curse of Strahd game, and I am also playing Legends of the Five Rings. That's DM'd by someone else, DM'd by my original online DM. But this is, I don't know, I guess this is just like a screenshot of all of the work that that goes into a tabletop game. It's a lot. It's a lot. Genuinely. I'm gonna take another sipperoo. But so far, this is like the first major combat. We had like a little tutorial fight. This was the tutorial fight. Again, there's lots of things going on the screen. And you know what? I started DMing with Curse of Strahd, as in like, I started my Curse of Strahd game first. And I thought that I was very much like a very roleplay centered DM. I thought that that was what I was good at, and that was something that like I preferred as a DM, mainly because like, I don't know, like 5th edition combat, at least the combats in the module, are very like, I don't know, they oftentimes feel like they don't really mean much other than to take away resources from your players. Like there isn't a lot of narrative weight to D&D combat, at least in 5th edition and at least in the Wizards of the Coast modules. And I feel that in my Curse of Strahd game too, even though Curse of Strahd is very role play heavy Dungeons and Dragons game. However, GUBAT BANWA, where the focus is combat, like this combat, we started, it was like we have 3-hour sessions, or three to 3.5 hour sessions. This took the whole entire session, a 3.5 hour combat. I thought it'd be boring. It was a lot of fun. And Bandu, if you're interested in this system specifically, this is GUBAT BANWA, a tactical role-playing RPG based on classical Filipino folklore and mythology. The book itself describes the role of a game master as like playing a very, very difficult version of Fire Emblem or some other tactics game. And that's really, really accurate. Basically the whole time I was looking at all my NPC units and making sure they worked correctly. But this was something that was very fun, and the mechanics in combat really push for narratively conducive combat. And that's what I really like about the system. So, enough about talking about this. There was a brand new update for GUBAT BANWA just last night / yesterday. As in, like, last night / 2 nights ago in the Philippines. And it came, like, yesterday morning for me here in the US. So, let's take a look at it. Oh. I love the art. All of the artists are, I believe they're either all Filipino or all Southeast Asian. And the art is gorgeous, full of brown tattooed people. And I love it very, very much. So good. Okay. Actually, before we look at the PDF, like in full, I believe, yeah, let's look at some of the hot fixes. So this is just a day ago. This is 0.8.52. We finally have grapple rules, clarified some of the sub-virtue stuff, including some like HP things. And I think I should probably make a list of things that I need to either change or like look up. So what I need to look up are changes to NPC stat blocks. Changes to NPC stat blocks. There is a major NPC that goes by player rules. So, NPC checkup for Itam. And what else? Oh yeah. One of my players is a Buwaya Lancer. They're basically a lance person, but instead of a horse, they're on a crocodile. And they have grapple rules, so I definitely need to check those out. I think there are also some changes to, like... Oh, wait. There are miss triggers as well that are more specific now, and we'll talk about those when we get to them. Health. Base health is called breath, and is now really small. 4, 5, 7, they're single digit numbers. So breath is basically quadrupled. I'm gonna be saying a bunch of stuff that I can't explain right now, but... Okay, yeah. Metal is now 4 times your breath and is still your HP in battle. Damage from outside combat deals damage to your metal equal to your breath. I kind of like the narrative explanation of calling it breath, because before it was just called like refresh or something. And I think the way that it's explained in the fiction, you know, you're getting the wind knocked out of you, you down to your last breath. When you heal up, you are catching your breath. And I really like that, even though it doesn't make much of a difference mechanically. And on the MA side, that's me. All foes gain +1 damage per tier. Okay. Alright. Okay. And the art, yeah, art's so gorgeous, super gorgeous. That's the DM book. Okay. First on the list, oh, okay, we have to go back to this one. First on the list, we have to check if there are any changes to the NPC stat blocks, because those need to be changed right away. Hello? Oh no! Oh god! Hello, Makabatag. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for making GUBAT BANWA #1. Oh no, now I feel very shy. But we're looking through the NPC stat blocks just to make sure that there probably have been... There's lots of changes. Okay. Hello, thank you. Pomelo Punch! I love pomelos! Thank you for the follow. Okay. No, okay. I don't think they've changed that much. Hold on, let me... Oh god. Oh god. The whole cavalry's here. Named foes, chattel. I think I was using them. Okay, I don't think there have been major changes to the stat blocks, which is good, which means I don't have to copy and paste them all over again. Metal 12. Oops, wrong one. Oh, nope. Yep, they changed. They've changed. Yeah, so... Yeah, I think I remember this being talked about either on the Discord or on the hotfixes, where HP's a lot smaller now. Which should make combat a little quicker and a little more deadly, which I like. Okay. Well, those definitely need to be changed. I'm gonna open up Paint. Oh boy. If you don't see what I'm doing, it's because the screen capture. Hello, Zinnia Zios. Thank you for the follow. Oh god. Hi. Hello, everyone. This is really nerve-wracking. But if you don't see what I'm doing, it's because the capture is just on my browser. I'm copying and pasting a lot of things from the book into making them into JPEG so I can put them into Roll20. Where am I going? Oh god. Morkborg? No, that's not it. Oh yeah, I've been putting the stat blocks into maps for whatever reason. Let me just put that into pictures. Okay. So this is the new Manini bot. I hope I'm saying these names right. I'm Filipino, but I'm also very American, and I don't speak any Filipino languages. I apologize in advance. Like, I asked my parents, I asked my mom in particular why we never learned either Tagalog or Ilocano, and she's like, yeah, you're American, you don't need to. I'm like, God, I wish I wish I was. Hi, I hope you find fun in GUBAT BANWA. I've already played a couple, I think like 2 or 3 sessions. We did our session 0 like right before the really big, I think 0.0 update. So that was a lot of fun. That was basically when everything shifted over to the D8s and a bunch of things got changed, and we just finished session 0 with with the 0.7, and it was a lot of fun making all of those changes like right before the first session. Lots of fun. Apologies, pero the lower HP and higher damage stuff has made more butt-clenching fights. Pomelo can attest. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. I said before, this was one of our bigger fights. I get all of my maps from a place called 2 Minute Tabletop. Gorgeous maps. But these are all of the enemies that my Kadunkanan, I hope I'm saying that right, I probably say it really, really white, have fought. And it took, even though most of them were chattel, it still took kind of a long time. They didn't take out any of these warriors. And they just got this guy just right down to the... Yeah, I'm really hoping that lower HP, number 1, probably makes things a lot quicker, and 2, it does make for more exciting fights. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay. And I'm trying to my best to make things a lot more transparent, at least compared to like D&D 5th edition. And I talked about this with my other DM friend, where we're gonna remove this, where like D&D 5th edition, at least in terms of the Wizards of the Coast modules, because we do play those, combat, I used to think that combat in D&D 5th edition was very, very streamlined and quite nice. GUBAT BANWA has changed my mind by a lot. Because in D&D 5th edition, number 1, like, at least Wizards of the Coast module combats don't make a lot of sense in the fiction, and that is like my really big gripe about it. And also that it kind of lacks the transparency of games, because like when you roll initiative in 5th edition, you like mechanically there really isn't, you don't have a goal in mind, and I really like that it's included in here. It's very much like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics. We have a little objective thing with a favor counter. You can just scream, what's their weakness? What's their weak? And I can show it to them. I can just show to players and they'll know. Maybe I should keep some things secret, but for the most part, at least for like these kind of like ads, you know, the chattel and the warriors that they're gonna be encountering, like basically every single fight, like I can just show them. I don't have to tell them every single time. And it's so easy. It's so nice. And I really enjoy the combat system. Okay, well that's one. That's one stat block changed. You know what? That's really tedious. Do I want to do that again and again and again? I don't even have other combats planned out. I'm kind of playing this where, like, the book itself says, yeah, you should, you know, you as the Mangawi, you're a player. Like, you don't need to prep that much. I like prepping big fights. I wanna play this as very Fire Emblem in terms of, like, the main focus of the game. Like, the main chapters consist of really big set piece fights, and then just like little bits of character interaction or NPC interaction, with preparation and all of that kind of taking like a little bit of a back burner to combat. I'm not sure if that was the goal of the system, but that's kind of how I'm playing it. And it's been working well so far. But I really want to plan fights beforehand, because no matter it, like, I want to kind of plan it as like, no matter what path my players take or what they choose to do in the fiction, the maps won't necessarily change, but I guess like the context in which those maps are used will change narratively based on what my players do. And I kind of like that. It's very like Fire Emblem Three Houses, or the other one, what's it called? Fates? The other one with a split thing. Oh, Makapatag, while I have you, so I do have a question. Maybe I'll post it on the Discord too, but just while I have you, there was something that my player kind of picked up on. They're playing a Mentala Koal. So hold on, Mentala Koal. And he was kind of looking at all of the discipline features from Mentala Koal. The sorcery, the sword and sorcery cast aloft, the tempestuous riding, and the volatile enchantments. So I think my player's main, I don't want to say gripe, I don't want to say complaint, but their main thing was that 2 of their discipline features feature all of the defenses. So you have a feature with avoid and parry, and then you have a feature with resist. And to them, and kind of to me, it does make the class a little mad, a little multiple attribute dependent, and very like they're not exactly sure what the archetype the Mentala Koal is supposed to go for, especially with these discipline features that are very defense based. And so like if there was like a specific reasoning as to why make 2 discipline features more based on defense, and why they include all defenses, because I think in my mind the Mentala Koal is kind of supposed to be a little bit of like a Gish mashup. Of course, like they're sword sorcerers, so like Gishes are known for blocking attacks with their magic and then powering them up. So maybe you were going for that, but I just kind of wanted to ask about that, like, why? Yeah, his main thing was, even though the techniques, he said that you improved the techniques a lot, in terms of like most of the techniques that the Mentala Koal have are now extremely useful and valuable, and something that he actually wants to take. But the discipline features are more focused on having like defenses, you know, the avoid, the parry, the resist. And I guess he just wanted to know like where you were coming from with that in particular. But other than that, he said it was a really great improvement to the Mentala Koal. I also have to look at all of my players' techniques and discipline changes. The Buaya Lancer's fast now. What is that? 5 move? That's a fast crocodile. Okay. Did I put Parmesan cheese on Filipino spaghetti? Would I? Hi, chat. Would you put Parmesan cheese on Filipino spaghetti? It's cheddar. We don't. Yes, we do. We have cheddar. I think that's perfectly fine. You put processed cheese. No. No, you would not put Parmesan cheese. I would agree. Like the only cheese that belongs on Filipino spaghetti is like processed cheapo cheddar cheese. I fully agree. So while we're here, I feel like I'm doing a lot less DM prep and just talking about the game. There's supposed to be a pre-colonial spellblade, a la like Vice from Ruby. Look forward to what I change in it. Oh. Yeah, my Mentelicoal player is a very big fan of Ruby. And we did play it. We did play it all together once, the board game. And so I bet he'll be very excited. He'll be very happy to hear that. Okay. Oh, I'd also like when we were doing what was it? When we were doing the roles for like pre-venture, you know, the inventorian, the scribe and all of that. Our Buaya Lancer decided to be the inventorian, and this is this is it. This is Peachy's inventory service. Round of applause for Peachy's inventory service. I love it. I love it so much. Great. I've also been lifting a lot of like NPCs and places from the Where We Were Most Beautiful, because I did originally when I was doing like lots of like big rounding GM prep in terms of like what I wanted the story to be like. Surprisingly, this was before Where We Were Most Beautiful released. And then I looked at Where We Were Most Beautiful, and I'm like, this is really similar to what I had in terms of like the players have to go to some place in order to unlock a prophecy that may or may not destroy the world. Very kind of similar. So what I have for my own game, it kind of started with the character that I made when practicing, or like when looking at the character creation. I made like based on all of the roles, I made all the dancer. I made like a dancer Magsabil Berserker, and I thought that she was really cool, and I loved her a lot, and so I made her I made her an NPC. But my main thing, I have to close my door because one of my players lives with me. I gotta close my door. I gotta keep the spoilers out. They said they liked it. Okay. I played a Hyung Bahani and all my brain is just unga bunga. Good Jill. I'm actually really excited to like see how other people play the game. Do you stream the games in the Discord, or but so what I have so far is that they were originally employed by the two from the Akai Sultanate, the Admiral Fleet guy that I now don't have his name on the Roll20, which I really should. He was an object of great power, kissed by the moon goddess herself, was stolen from him, and he wants the players to retrieve it for him. Little do they know, or I guess now they do know, that this object is actually a person. And so they get to choose, like, whether or not to help her. Her name's Itam. It's right here. I think this was art for another Filipino deity. I think it escapes me, but so she would like to go to the holy tomb that was talked about, I think, in the Mang Aowit book. It doesn't give a precise description of where it is. Let's go to the main map. They're in a Pumbukid right now, but I'm gonna make them travel like here, like all the way. So they travel all across the archipelago and meet lots of people on the way. But she wants to go here to find out the prophecy. There's a moon faith prophecy that tells of a way to bring peace about the islands, inscribed in her most holy tomb to the east. What this entails, she's not exactly sure of. And eventually the players learn that it tells of the world being doused in holy fire, followed by blessed rain. The two will lean on one another in times of great trial, and then this world will be birthed anew underneath the light of a new moon. And basically what this entails is Itam turning into a giant monster / Diwata / God. And then eventually what is essentially Spain comes. And I basically, like, the big cliffhanger that will end this whole thing is that we now have this giant bomb god that can basically defeat colonialism. Yeah. I can't believe I'm sharing this with the actual author of this game. I hope that's not too crazy. I hope that's not bad. The bomb to colonialism. So that's what I got so far. And basically how I want to structure these encounters is we did all of the complications, and so my players now have NPCs that they've given me, and I want to meet them across this journey across the archipelago. Currently we are meeting our Senapati warlord. Hold on. So my Senapati warlord basically fucked his best friend's wife and dishonored his mentor, and then had to leave the Lockenet. Oh, I'm so glad that yeeting colonists is it's something we can all. Thank you. That makes me feel a lot better about this plot. But basically we in the last combat we met his former best friend, the person who, you know, he fucked his wife, and so we're gonna have some moments with that. I want to give him the option of either killing his best friend and letting him go back to his old mentor. So, like, to either talk about how Bato was, like, either a coward for not killing him, or, you know, that he saved his life, and maybe he's a true Lockenet, because I'm pretty sure his former best friend thinks that he's basically a traitor to the Lockenet. So depending on that, That's probably going to be a conviction beat as well, because his conviction's duty. Mahyang Bahani got 2 villages destroyed and became the sole twice? How does that happen? You know what? I'm in the Great Islands in the Great Archipelago of Kitatak. You know what? That's just Tuesday. That's just Tuesday morning. So we met Banka Bulahan, which I stole his stat block from the Where We Were Most Beautiful. The guy with the anchor, just because I thought having an anchor as a weapon is metal as fuck. And I'm like, I need to have this dude. So we're gonna meet in Banka. We have a Karimlan Kabalyan. Is that how you say it? Caballero. She has a missing sibling. And I was thinking about how to kind of put a missing sibling. She missed her sister in like a boat crash or something. I asked my player what happened and I wrote it down, except my notes are absolutely god awful. Okay, they fell off a ship. They fell off a ship when they were 4 or 5 years old, and they're missing their sibling. So my original plan was that during their travels with Itam, if they choose to, again, like, they'll still meet these characters regardless of the narrative that they pull, but like, they're still gonna meet these characters no matter what. But I guess like canon is that they do help Itam go to the Moon Faith Temple. They meet him. He's basically, they meet a man that is basically driving like a giant turtle ship. I wish I could show it now, but it's not loading onto Roll20. It's a giant turtle ship, and so they get passage on this ship, and they start talking to the dude, or somehow the dude starts talking. He's like, yeah, you know, just gonna hint that he's trans as a treat, you know, just some trans as a treat. But he's gonna say, yeah, I missed my sister, or like, I had a big sister and we fell off a ship and I never got to see her again. Kind of like, ooh, is he your lost sibling that you've lost all these years? And now he's just, you know, driving an old turtle ship, and he's trans. Congratulations. I thought that was really cool. But I got to more thinking. I got to a more thoughtful position. This is not his sibling. Or this is not my player's sibling. Not long lost sibling. Instead, their actual sister is probably an enemy that they have to kill. But it kind of goes to show, especially because the player with the lost sibling, their conviction's family. And so, ooh, this person who I thought might be my sibling isn't my sibling, but instead, my sibling is someone who I probably have to kill. And they're kind of gonna be a mirror to Masa. Probably gonna be a control, because I do like a good control, and I think that having like a very thoughtful NPC, or someone who's thoughtful about fighting, compared to someone who just is literally just, I go up and hit things, I think that's really cool. But I feel like having this kind of narrative of this person who I thought might be my sibling wasn't my sibling, but has a very similar story. It's just like, this just happens. This is just Tuesday morning in GUBAT Banwa. This is just Tuesday morning. This happens. Children get lost all the time. All the time. Tragedy is forever. Why is it doing that? What's going on? Do you see that? What does the missing sister feel about the player? Yeah, I'm thinking Masa. So this person is being hunted by their... Where's the interesting events? Yeah, they're being hunted by other Kadunganan. So I'm thinking they're being hunted by their own sister. Ooh, that's good. Gonna write that one down. And I'll probably use the... Because I don't like writing things down. And these are all here. These are really great stat blocks. I would like to use them. As in, I would like to steal them for my own... Ooh, maybe Belina the Flower Sword Maiden. Ooh, she sounds like she knows business and she knows nothing of family. And only of death. Belina, known as the Flower Sword Maiden, violently brought to the settlement. Ooh. Messing with their conviction is the ultimate trick. Ooh, yeah, I really want that to be a theme. Like, your convictions are constantly tested in this war-torn world. Yeah, so I think I'll use Belina. I like her stat block. Hibiscus cut. Ooh, I love when flowers and death just go together. Mwah. Mwah, chef's kiss. And she's going to say, I know nothing of family. What's family? I lost my sibling a long time ago, but that doesn't matter because this is my life now. And they're going to have to make a choice. Do you kill this person? But they're your family. Or do you find that nice old trans guy that you met on a giant turtle is your family now? Okay. That's one NPC. I think we're just gonna be working on like NPC building for now. So that's Masa. We have Batos. I kind of want to think about what the consequences of letting his friend live. You know, you have the duty to either the Datu who employed them or Itam to kill this man. Because he either abducted Itam or he stole from the Datu. Is your duty to these people who either employed you or with you now, or is it with your mentor Bakalmata, who you want to repair your relationship with? And do you feel like letting someone live who could possibly tell Bakalmata that you were a huge coward and let them live? Is that enough? Do you think that's a good choice? Ooh. We'll talk about that. I'll talk about it more with my player tomorrow, because we're playing tomorrow. Ooh. Okay. That's Masa's main thing. Bato's main thing is kind of here. I'm not really planning on this to be like a very long campaign. Maybe between like a month to 2 months. We've been playing for like, I think 3 weeks now. Oh god, if it's already been 3 weeks. Ooh, maybe a summer. Maybe this is gonna be 3 months. I don't know. Those are pretty good. Which notes? Are you talking about my player's notes? They are very good, mostly because we didn't notice that there was a character sheet until a couple of weeks after. All of them. Oh, thank you. I think Roll20, I have my gripes about using Roll20 as a DM space. But for the most point, I also lifted these from where we were most beautiful. I think it's a really good module. And it has stuff that can be used in any any GUBAT BANWA campaign. So I have all these themes and content warnings also from Where We Was Beautiful. Venturing rules. I also need to put what you can do with your action. And I needed to look at grappling because Crocodile, Mr. Peachy, or Miss Peachy? I think Peachy's a girl. I'm not gonna misgender Peachy. That I refuse. I'm pretty sure Peachy's a girl. But we do have some grappling stuff. So let's take a look at that real quick. So is it okay, I'll do that. So it can either be grapple or grappling. Rule violence plus strike. I'm actually not sure if these are new changes or old changes from other 0.8.x or whatever. On a weak pass, choose to either push the target one space or make them grappled. Ooh, I kind of like that it's like a combination of both like a shove and a grapple. On a strong pass, they're grappled by you until the end of your next phase. I think we also had this discussion of like, and I did look at 8.5 and it does seem to be cleaned up a little more. But the difference between like your phases upkeep and your player's phases upkeep, where exactly those are. So I'm gonna be looking at those two. Upkeep. On a strong pass, they're okay. If you have someone grappled, you can spend another grapple action to maintain the grapple until the end of your next phase. Okay, so everything is on the player's side. Okay. While you're grappling, you're slowed, but wherever you move the combatant you're grappling to a space adjacent to you. Okay. Of course, we'll be playing with this a little bit. And the fact that the main grappler of the group is a 2x1 crocodile, I think that's pretty strong. I think that's pretty good. This is Animal Crossing music. Okay. I think I probably should copy this somewhere. Just gonna take a small screenshot. Actually, no, this is part of the actions. So I'll probably... Okay, wait. Okay, so we can already look at the... So you have the start of a phase, action, end of phase. Okay, so upkeep was kind of like done away with entirely. So you just have the start of a phase, action, end of phase. Okay, I think that cleans it up. That cleans it up a lot more. Because we were last combat, I think my Mentalica wall like juggled someone. Yeah, with their elite skill, which was now also changed. But they're like, okay, so does he stay juggled until his turn, his phase, his next turn, or my next turn? Because it doesn't make sense if like someone's juggled for that long, but like we kind of played it that way. It's fine. He's dead now. It's okay. We live and we learn that maybe juggling is a little... You can't be juggled for probably more than 10 seconds, unless like you're just continually juggling. Okay. Okay, well that clears up a lot of the grapple rules. And that's going to make our Buaya Lancer a lot more useful and probably closer to what my player wants. He's tried to play a grappling class before in D&D, and it wasn't... Grappling's so useless in 5th edition that it ended up not working out. Most juggled effects. lasts until the target's next start of turn. Yeah, okay. All right. That's a lot better than like when's upkeep, because it kind of reminded me of how Yu-Gi-Oh works, where there is kind of like an upkeep phase between the phases, but I think the start of the next phase streamlines it by a lot. Isn't it really late in the Philippines? What's the time in the Philippines right now? It's 1:30? I appreciate you watching me, but it's 1:30. I'll shoo you out. See, here in the US, where I'm at, it's 10 in the morning. I'm being so productive at 10 in the morning. 1:30. So, Karayan, the rider of the river. I also love this art. I don't know where he got it from, but it's very feral looking, and he has a lance, and I think there's a monster behind him. It's a crocodile. It's a crocodile. Whatever. So I really want to play with this NPC called Dilangalen, which he basically gives my player heroin, like opium, just straight up opium, like Chinese opium. But one of my players wants me to get away from them. So I was thinking Dilangalen, I was kind of playing around with, like, he might be a fool cartomancer. To me, he's a very sardonic character, kind of mysterious, but ultimately he's an assassin or something. I think another one of the Mentala Kowal also had a thing with Dilangalen. I think. Oh, it's blank. Oh, and they're flirty. I can't tell you. So, my Mentala. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. But the Mentala Kowal, they're flirty, and when they're adjacent to an ally with your Manguguba. Oh, that's not changed. That's a Kadunganan. Maybe the language hasn't changed. Again, we did this right before the 0.8 update, so things might be different. Gain +1 to your avoid and resist. Yeah, because we were talking about the changes to the Mentala Kowal, which I'm pretty sure they were older changes, but we just haven't updated yet. With the discipline features, but it kind of seems like it might not matter all that much. Because Mentala Kowal, she has this, a +1 to your avoid and resist. And they made it so the flirty knack does wonders in combat and out. Oh, I bet. Because my player made it so that they're basically attracted to literally everyone in the party. You know what? Me too. I'm attracted to everyone. Sure. I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna say that I'm bisexual. I'm not gonna say that isn't a thing. But still, like, come on, man. Everyone in the party, everyone that you meet, even that little cat person that you meet in a little tea house, you're attracted to. Sure, okay. Their convictions, love. I'm not exactly sure where I want to go with this kind of, like, with the Mentala Kowal, not sure. And their name's Gagamba. I think that's very cute. I like that. Okay. Back to this Dilanggalan character. I'm pretty sure. Originally, I wanted Dilanggalan to be an assassin for Masa, the one who's being hunted. God, okay, now this is what happens with Roll20. You have a bunch of tabs open, and you don't know where they are. they're also from Gatusan. Okay. Oh no, I think that's what I originally wanted, because they're both from Gatusan. And Masa are Karimlan. She's being hunted, and she was ousted from the lands, and now she's being hunted, and I wanted that to be Tlangalan. Why not? But we did talk about maybe making it her sister. Why not both? Hold on a second. Dilangalan is no longer a fool cartomancer. I thought they were like an old man. They are not. they are indeed a young woman, and they are Masa's sister. Yeah. Okay. I don't even have to name them anymore. They're just Dilangalan. I'm writing all of this down on a notepad, and I promise, even though the notes in the Roll20 are very, very organized, my notes right now in front of me are very, very much not. They're literally scribbles. Yes, if Dilangalan is their sister, and I want this whole thing about duty versus blah 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 blah. Or because I do want to bring Karayon's conviction into it. And I think maybe one of the questions I want to ask my player is what exactly they're spiteful of. They live out of spite, but like, oh no, they had this whole thing about, it was basically like it was a plot that was lifted from like professional wrestling. I don't know how popular professional wrestling is in the Philippines, but me and my brother, who's our Buaya Lancer, we are. And it was basically that he was also ousted by his Datu cousin, ousted from Gatusan, and now he wants to take it back. So if we're gonna be taking a small little trip through the Rajanet, what a great opportunity. And I think we also talked about vaguely how Karayan was like, he's from a family of like Sari Manok Knights, and they're like, yes, you too will be a Sari Manok Knight. This is your destiny. And he's like, no, I want to ride a crocodile. So maybe plan a bunch of Sari Manok Knight fights. Maybe it's like, I also want to take inspiration from mainly Fire Emblem. I haven't played Final Fantasy Tactics. I haven't played Tactics Ogre. I really want to. But for right now, like, my main point of reference for a tactical RPG is Fire Emblem. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, for Fire Emblem, there's a lot of like, you have to get into a fortress siege. That's what it's called. So maybe we'll do like a little bit of a fortress siege. We'll do a little bit of a defense, maybe with you gotta defend a colossal turtle. Okay, I have to like write this down in Roll20 or else I'll forget. Come on, GM, where are my GM notes? There it is. Okay. So we already wrote down the themes. Main plot points. So I want the final one to be, yeah, this also counts as like maps. So I want the final fight to be with Monster Tom. And then we'll finish, we're finishing out with fucking yeeting colonialists. So we're gonna have Moss's thing. When we go to Gatusan, We're gonna have Masa hunt with sister. I think before that, we'll have the turtle fight. I really want to show this turtle. I'm gonna try to upload it again to Roll20 and see if Roll20 likes me enough. Roll20, please. I just want a turtle. Yeah, there it is. Come on. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for that. It's pretty popular as far as I know. There's a local wrestling scene that's really fun. That sounds really cool. Oh, this might be... This is another thing I was kind of curious about. My family doesn't go to the Philippines a lot. I think the last time I went to the Philippines was... I was 4. I was 4 years old. And I'm turning 23 this year. That's crazy. But like, so I don't know a lot about like Filipino culture, especially like modern Filipino culture. My dad did say he lived in northern Philippines. Both of my parents are Ilocano. And he said that he ran like a fucking cockfighting ring. And that cockfighting is very, very popular in the Philippines. Is that still true? Like he raised cockfighting chickens, and he put the spurs on them, and he made some good money. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I saw that in the Discord too. They're talking about cockfighting, and I'm like, is that still like a major cultural flashpoint for Filipinos? Hi Skyheart, we're doing some DM prep. I'm talking with some Filipino creators. It's been so much fun. All right, turtle defense. I think that was another thing that I really liked about Fire Emblem Fates Conquest in particular, where I honestly think that Fire Emblem Conquest has some of the best map designs. They are so inventive and they feel deadly. I think I remember one of them was like you were running away from like a big bunch of like really deadly monsters that could probably like two-shot you, and all of your characters at that point. And the combat objective was just to survive. It was just like survive X amount of turns, and I'm like, this feels so deadly. It's butt. You clench your butt. You just clench that butt, and it felt so good. Felt so good. Very much. I'm glad that cockfighting is still very much a thing in the Philippines. Very excited to hear that. I'll tell my dad next time I see him. Okay. Turtle defense with Masa's maybe brother. I also kind of like, just making everything a little gay. Everything's gay. I have a thing where basically all NPCs in my games, no matter what game it is, they're all gay and they're all trans unless proven otherwise. That's just how the world works. Ooh, okay. I kind of like, so with this Gatusan fortress siege, for my Buaya Lancer. Very true, same. Listen, if my mom understood, because I think my mother, like my family's only definition of like Filipino LGBT anything, again, only comes from like what was happening in the Philippines between like 1970 and 1986. So like her only conception of like trans things are like baklas and tomboys. And they're kind of similar but also different. And like me, I'm a non-binary person that I don't necessarily fit her conception of like what a tomboy is. And in fact, like those terms have changed a lot. Again, a lot of things, like I feel so disconnected from like Filipino culture, and I guess like playing this game even just a little bit and learning a little bit more about the mythology that, my ancestors created this. That means something. Um it's been a lot, and I can make everyone trans. That's what I've learned. Okay. So we have this turtle defense with Moss's maybe brother with the turtle. Who's hunting them? Who is hunting them? I've kind of also made it where a bunch of polities and mandalas are kind of like gunning for this, what basically does turn into a bomb at the end. That there have been multiple intelligences of a really powerful artifact. Some people think that it's still an object. Some people know that it's a person. So just getting all of the mandalas in there, So I'm thinking if we're traveling to Gatusan, it has to be someplace close by. Okay, Verbanwa's all the way down here. I think it makes sense for someone from a Pumbukid to be hunting them. And of course, our lovely spider Gagamba is from a Pumbukid. I think turtle defense. We have Moss's brother, and I was also kind of thinking like at the very end we get to see we have an archer. And I looked at the change. Our Bantara bowman had the split the wind, and when he was using split the wind, it was so strong. Like he took out three chattel at once. Just in one turn, and he still had one more attack. And I'm like, that's crazy. But I see in 8.5 that it requires a strong pass to do that. And you know what? That's probably for the best. Because otherwise, because the Bantara bowmen, they already have like a +1 to range. So +1 to range. Plus, I always give him the opportunity to have elevation. And so he just stays there. He just stays there and gets all of the fucking dice. And it's made him very strong, but he's a little nerfed now, and that's probably for the best. But we have a Bantara bowman. He's also from the Sultanate. Where they are right now, they're close to, come on. We have a little crocodile. Mr. Crocodile right there. Come on. Turtle's not loading. Unfortunate. So they're right here. So I think maybe down south. We're still kind of close to Akai. But yeah, so maybe when they're turtle defense, blah, blah, blah. When they're finished with that, they get saved. Ooh. Like, the combat finishes, but the Apumbakid enemies, they just keep coming until they're finally saved by our Bantara bowman's sister, who banished him for basically like reckless endangerment. She believes that our bowman Bayani was responsible for the death of their brother by negligence. So I think having them save her, and then we have like a little bit of an interaction. What is his conviction? Honor. Okay. All right. So our Bantara bowman, he took we just have a bunch of people who were exiled from their lands. He was exiled. He took it quite well. If they're saved by his sister, yeah, because I think all of the NPCs that they meet, I want them to have an interesting conviction beat, where their convictions are basically tested. And honor. Bowman Zuko 1. We have Bowman Zuko 1, Buaya Lancer, Buaya Lancer Zuko 2. Just various I think we talked about it too. We're like, yeah, this is basically Zuko. You're Zuko. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is just the copy paste of honor. But let me just look at it with the book again. Where are the convictions? 220. Okay. The book is also a lot better organized. It's so much easier to look at things now. Thank you. Thank you. Also, it takes a very specific person to apologize for updating the game. Sorry for making the game better. I apologize. Let's see. Okay. Honor. Okay, yeah, that's basically I think I can learn a little bit more about what Bayani means by... I do have notes. I have notes. Characters. Characters. Here it is. And I have a whole second game to prep after this. Okay, honor, Akai Sultanate, younger. Accepted it without fault. So his sister fucking hates his guts. So why would she be saving him right now? I think maybe it would be a change of her conviction. Family is very important. Maybe not as important to her as like someone with a family conviction, but maybe there was a change. Perhaps there was. I don't think this in particular gives Bayani a very important character, like conviction beat. I'll think of something else. Maybe when he has to do something a little less honorable. I think things coming up to my mind right now are like breaking and entering an innocent, killing an innocent. Ooh. You know, you make maps and you make encounters specifically to make your players suffer. I like this. This is how the game is supposed to be. Okay. I have to think about this a little more. But I want Bayani to somehow have the choice of killing an innocent or not. The MA's mantra. That's the GM's mantra. Just in general. All right. What could be a compelling reason for killing an innocent person? Again, I don't necessarily have all of the context for this innocent killing. Because if it's like they're an innocent person, but they have information that could possibly endanger. Oh no, I think that's pretty good. Like, say, like, they witnessed, like a secret within the party that they weren't necessarily supposed to see. And the consequence of letting them live is that they run and tell literally everyone that they know, possibly alerting a Datu or, you know, something even greater, maybe like a whole entire fucking mandala of what they're doing. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. Yeah, because I think one of the main things that the players have to keep in mind is that with Itam, because Itam's being hunted because she's a bomb, they're supposed to, I guess, kind of keep their location secret. So maybe something that has to do with that. Consequence of letting them live. They blow their cover, or a Datu or whole mandala knows where they are. But I think that is a very interesting character choice. Maybe, I don't know, maybe my player doesn't see it that way. Because, oh, it's an innocent. But truly, in the archipelago of Kitatak, how innocent are they? Oh, rub salt in the room by making making them a slave. That's a good one. Yeah, okay. Okay. I think maybe we'll have that a little closer. I kind of want to have more instances of like Filipino mythology. So I would eventually like to have a tikbalang somewhere. I love that guy. Just a giant horseman who will probably kill you. Or the what's that? The giant woodsman who smokes tobacco in trees. He's also cool. I just want him chilling. They don't have to do anything with him. Like, he's just chilling in the background. I forget his name. But it's a giant man that smokes tobacco. I love him. Capre! Yeah! That's him! Like, just nothing other than he's just sitting in a tree. I want that. Okay. So Saved by Bayani's sister. I'm also lifting, oops. I'm lifting that little, like, cat tea house. The one that asks for, betel nut. And then you just serve you tea. Yeah, I think like smaller, less serious moments to kind of counteract all of the bloodshed and all of the killing, all of the familial nastiness that goes on. Sometimes you just need a cat that asks for betel nut and you get tea. I think that's a nice contrast. Saved by Bayani's sister. I think I'll probably have that a little closer to, I think maybe I'll put it, where do I want to put the moon goddess tomb? Why it's so far away from Akai? I don't know. Maybe it's like, oh, you have to make, you gotta make a journey. The journey is a part of, you know, your trip to Mecca. It's a part of the thing. Maybe maybe like here. Maybe like here. Ta-da. There it is. On GM layer. Yep. That's good. Good enough for me. Good enough for Jazz. So they get to travel all the way here. Go through Gatusan. Maybe they'll meet some Verbanwa people. Maybe around here. or around here somewhere. I don't think I need to prep like a full combat situation, especially because that turtle isn't loading. I don't need to do it now. We're probably not going to be doing combat next session anyway. I say that. Yeah, we're going to be doing our first respite. Actually, I should probably look at those rules because that's what's probably going to happen next time. Respite 30. So oh, sorry. Oops. So probably if they stay with Itam, because again, they could just completely say, you know, fuck her. Fuck this prophecy. We're not going to have anything to do with it. And you know what? Just in a couple of weeks, there's just going to be a giant monster that they have to deal with. Oopsies. So after finishing a venture, you know, rest, recuperation. Okay, during respite, you get to choose 2 respite activities. Yeah, I feel like in both the preparation stage and respite stage, it's very similar to Blades in the Dark in terms of like, you know, these are scenes, and you get 2 of them. These are scenes that you can do in between like the big stuff, and then preparation is like very like kind of, I don't want to say abstract, but kind of like an abstraction of all of the preparation, and I really like it too. I like the way Blades in the Dark does it. I like the way it happens here. Alright, you have feasts. When you attend a feast, roll a save on a 5 to 8. Choose one below. Ah. There's also a lot of like romance and sex in here. I think in the Dance with Hearts and Thoughts, I love this image. I love this image. It speaks to me on multiple levels. Number one, the very like anime-esque style. This young this purple-haired person who looks either very drunk or you know, very flirty, very flirtatious. And and the person next to them who's just isn't taking any shit. I love it. I love it. Yeah, but the Dance with Hearts and Thoughts, things get heated, things get hot, things get soft. It's all about the relationships. It's all about the relationships. Okay. Okay. All right, let's go back. Let's go back. You can attend a feast. Yeah, so this can be possible. I'm probably going to place them in somewhere where like either an existing datu has an utang with them, or they can like pay an utang to a datu so they can have a feast. Just because like, you know, eating is an integral part of Filipino culture. It was back then and it is now. And I just wanna show all of the Filipino food in the game. I'm playing with my brother who's also Filipino, and a bunch of white guys, and also a Japanese person. But I just want to show off my culture, so we can attend a feast. There's a crafting, so when you create, you use your expertise and knowledge to try and cobble something together. This can be physical or social. Okay, I like that a lot. Okay, you use the Bakunawa moon. Okay, so really similar to Blades in the Dark. Really, really similar. You get to chase a debt. I don't think we set up utang. And especially for like a short of a... Maybe we can talk about it really quickly, like right before the session. But I don't think we have many utang set up right now. So I don't know if they're gonna do that. Connect. If they bring Itam with them, they're gonna have someone to connect with. And I definitely know that a flirty Mentala Koal has a little something on their mind. So I would not... If you try to befriend someone, say it who it is, make a relevant roll. Okay. Oh, use this if you wish to find a new PC. So it's like acquire an asset. On a strong pass, you befriend. Weak pass, meet. Or you otherwise attract unwanted attention. On a fail, you meet someone, but they're hostile. Okay. Support scenes, social link scenes. Yeah. Yeah, I like this a lot. I think my players, the group that I play GUBAT BANWA with, they are very much like mechanics oriented. Whereas my other group is very more like role play and exploration oriented, and Curse of Strahd kind of works with them. But for GUBAT BANWA, I think kind of having like mechanics for social interaction, aside from just, oh, you talk to this person, we role play a bit, and then you make a roll. I think really having solid mechanics around social interaction, something like this. And it's not like, this isn't like mechanically too much, but it does take some of your time, right? And again, this activity might trigger beats. It might, yeah, it gets them something. It gets a player something mechanically that they can solidly say that if we do this, we get something of benefit mechanically. I think that really helps. It might not be of interest to some players, but especially for someone who's like really into tactical RPGs, and probably someone who plays GUBAT BANWA, I think having that mechanical benefit really does help a lot. We talked about this with, we're playing Legends of the Five Rings too, and kind of it has mechanics for social interaction. Like, basically, the way that combat is played is the exact way that social situations are played in Legends of the Five Rings, and it number one really helps streamline the experience, and number two brings home the fact that fighting and social interaction are just like one and the same. And I know you, Makapatag, have done the same thing with the D8s. You really wanted to hit home that like fighting is just a regular thing in a Kadunganan's life, and you roll D8s the same as you do literally everything else. And I personally really like that kind of like mechanical storytelling. And it helps the experience too. So these are respites. You can ply the market. Okay. Uphold a virtue. And I'll probably rank them up too after this little fight. They kind of finished a venture. It was one fight. They're changing employers. I'll let them do it. And it's a new update, so why not? As a treat. Rank up as a treat. Okay. So I think that's probably the last thing that we'll talk about with GUBAT BANWA, and then I'll change to D&D 5e for Curse of Strahd. Prepping 2 games today, lads. We're in it to win it. Okay, actually, ranking up should be in the Kadunganan. Yeah, there it is. You gain 1 rank every time you finish a venture, whether you succeed or not. Okay, that's real simple. 1 knack, violence, defense, strike magic. Oh, that's real simple. Thank you. All right. Okay. It's 11. I think we've been prepping since, it's been an hour and a half. So I think I'll spend another hour and a half doing Curse of Strahd. If you were here just for GUBAT BANWA, thank you for watching. This has been a lot of fun talking with all of you guys. Talking about fucking cockfighting capres all of that good stuff. If you're just here for GUBAT BANWA, I understand. If you want to see some D&D 5th edition prep, thank you. Thank you for making this. Honestly, I feel so disconnected from Filipino culture, and this is just one thing that helps me feel more Filipino. So thank you for making this. And I know my players really believe in this project too. So yeah. Anyway, Curse of Strahd. Gonna close all these. Goodbye. Okay. Let's take a little sipperoo of tea here. Okay. The Curse of Strahd. I've been playing this campaign for about, I think it's been a year and a half. About a year and a half. This is our little landing page. Let's talk a little bit. I think number one, let's talk a little bit about Strahd for a second. Strahd is a very interesting character. Okay, well, first of all, I feel like we should talk about the campaign for a little bit. So, Curse of Strahd is a remake of, I think, a 2nd edition Ravenloft game. And it's got a lot of problems. Curse of Strahd is genuinely like a Wizards of the Coast module that needs a lot of work to be done in order to get it to work and be cohesive. And what I use is, hold on, I have it. Ooh. We have Fleshing Out Curse of Strahd by Mandy Mod 2 years ago. Thank you, Mandy Mod, for making my Curse of Strahd game so much more enjoyable. I'm basically using almost everything that Mandy talks about. And this is such a good repository of information that she has right here. So, been doing a lot of that. I changed the whole thing where, like, there are Thanes in Barovia that were once in power, and then the Dark Powers took away their godliness. And so now the players have to somehow, they don't know how to yet, but they need to somehow restore power to the Thanes and save Barovia. They were brought here by cards that tell of, like, ye old prophecies, yada yada yada. So yes, lots of changes. We go to a little map of Barovia. I want to talk about Strahd for a second. I want to talk about my conception of Strahd. So all of my players, they're like me. They're little bastards. And Strahd, as written, is very much, he's got incel energy. Let's be real here. Because his main thing is that, he was, like, really strong and really powerful, but then he quote unquote fell in love with a woman who didn't even want him back and was married to his brother. And he was so mad about that he literally turned into a vampire, killed his brother, and then has been, like, heckling. He's been heckling this woman for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years throughout all of her lifespans. Boy, does that not feel good. And especially to a bunch of AFAB players who are like, nah, man, no, that's stupid. And especially because, like, I know Strahd is supposed to be, like, despicably evil, but there's also portions of the book that's like, hey, if any of your players are, like, maybe not sympathetic to Strahd, but, like, you know, find him attractive in terms of, like, the the power that he has, you could use that to your advantage. But like, just like the base reason why Strahd is an enemy in the first place, it wasn't compelling for my character or for my players. So instead, guess what we did? We made Strahd trans and gay. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? So my conception of Strahd is they are now an AFAB non-binary asshole. Which, yes, me too. I am an AFAB non-binary asshole. But this is... Oh, that's not it. Get out of here. You're not real. You're not canon anymore. This is my Strahd. Their face claim is Carmilla from the Netflix series. Yes, they're an AFAB non-binary person. And big change. They actually had a relationship with Tatiana because just saying that like they liked her, but she didn't like them back is just that's so stupid. That's so frustrating. Like, why are you chasing this woman through lifetimes and lifetimes if she didn't even like you back? So we made Tatiana a two-timing bitch. She had a relationship with both Strahd and their brother. And I felt like that made it a lot more compelling. Guess what? My players still fucking hate Strahd. Just because they like Irina, who is her latest, the latest incarnation of Tatiana. They like her so much. Don't you ever have an NPC that you kind of like offhandedly think, yeah, my players will enjoy hanging out with them. They'll like traveling with this NPC. And then they will die. They will die for Irina. They love her so much. They love her so much. I am legally required to not let her die. Or else my players will hate me forever. But this is Irina. Oh wait, she doesn't have a character sheet anymore. Where is it? Irina. There she is. There she is. There's the girl. Yeah, Irina. We made her using the newest, not anymore. Tasha, we used Tasha's sidekick rules in order to make Irina a little more useful in combat. Even though I think what Mandy had in fleshing out Curse of Strahd was really, really good, in that Irina wasn't necessarily supposed to be combat oriented. She's there for like social interaction. And like she's good at like talking to people, especially the people of Barovia, because she's basically royalty. Anyway, we made her into kind of like a thief type deal. We talked about like all of her proficiencies. We had this whole little role-playing session where I asked my players, okay, you guys are going to teach Irina things. As she's traveling with you, we're gonna do like a little bit of a flashback, and you get to tell me what skill she learns from you guys. And it just felt like a very nice bonding moment that they had with Irina, and it was really cute. And I'm very surprised that none of them hit on her yet. We're getting close though. We're getting really close. So this is her. She has dexterity, deception, medicine, persuasion, sleight of hand, and survival. I'm pretty sure she learned medicine by attempting to sew up like squirrel skins or something really heinous like that. So that was a nice time. She has all of these things. She has expertise and she's helpful. That's so good in combat. We haven't used her yet. I don't do a lot of combat. Yeah, in comparison to GUBAT BANWA, which is all about combat, my Curse of Strahd game is very, very combat light. Because I did ask my players, you know, do you like D&D combat? Like, how much do you like it? And they said not very much. So we're playing to that. And I'm okay with that. I got GUBAT BANWA for that. So, they're in Kresk right now. And Mandy's version of Kresk. There's a famine. Various werewolf hints have been laid out. People are stealing sheep. Where are the sheep going in this famine? Who could have done this? Perhaps it's the werewolves to the north, because there is a werewolf portion. There's like a whole like werewolf subplot going on, or like a quest or something. And like, ooh, tie with that. Maybe like a little hook. But guess what? It's a red herring. And actually like a literal child is killing all of these sheep and eating them because they were cursed. And my players were doing a little like sleuthing, a little like detective work. And they're like slowly piecing things together before the big reveal, and it's been so much fun. It's been so much fun like hearing their theories about what happened, because they're really close. They're really close to getting things right. They're really close to seeing that these aren't actually werewolves. But I get to reveal it next time, and I'm so I think it's reveals like that make me really happy to be a DM, and it gives me some confidence in like both my writing and execution skills of D&D, because it's just like, you were close, you sure were close. And the best twists were ones that you could conceivably predict, right? So after this, I think I already prepped this fight. We have a token here, a dead person, and I think I need to add HP to this, but I think I have the stat block already. It should be in monsters, I think. Named NPCs? I don't know. Elia? Oh, he's right here. Okay. Okie dokie. He should be in, I think, named NPCs. I apologize if you could hear that. I just burped. I'm sorry. Elia, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. There you go. Okay, so Elia. I think this is the first time my players have encountered someone with a legendary action, which is gonna be a fun time, because they're like, oh, he's just a medium-sized character. He's a person. He's like a person. Until he's not. I'm pretty sure this is a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Right, HP is 150. So this is going to be a time. And I did talk about my players a little more about combat, and they're like, you know what, Eni, you should give us like harder combat. I think we're ready for harder combat. Just give us what you got. And I'm like, I don't think you know what you're asking right now. Harder combat? You sure? So this is what I got. Legendary character. I didn't make the stat block. Someone else made the stat block, okay? This isn't me. This isn't me, like, trying to kill my players. He's very strong, though. He's a legendary creature. And he's challenge level 5. They're all level 6. So they could take him. So let's see what he has. So he has riposte. He has a pounce. He leaps within 30 feet and makes a single attack. And these are his legendary actions. So he can... I don't think I've personally run something with a legendary action. So this is going to be a little different. But the D&D 5th edition Roll20, like the APIs and stuff like that, they're usually really good. And they take a lot of like the manual stuff away from me, which is very nice. Automates a lot of the process. He has a wretched spittle. And let's just make sure these roll fine. I'm gonna talk to myself. Go. Nice. It rolls a 2. Is it really +0? I don't think it's +0. This is why we rolled before. Plus. Okay, no, it is +0. Okay, cool. Okay, I think that makes sense. Whoops, sorry. Okay. And it's a 10-foot radius. I'm trying to think of like ways that I could... I know Roll20 has a radius bar. So like 10-foot radius. Yeah, that's originating on a point. I want to do that, but like just have a 10-foot radius like token or something like that. I think that does exist on the marketplace, but I have to buy it. And I don't have money right now. Okay, so it's +0. That works. Pounce. Makes 2 attacks. Is this scratch also +0? +4. I knew I missed something. 4. All right. Scratch. 3 slashing. Good job. Okay. Okay, well... I mean, looking at the numbers right now... He doesn't do... Never mind. He does do a bit... That's a recharge. I think that's fine. He does do a little bit of damage, but he usually doesn't do with the scratch. He usually doesn't do too much. He also has legendary actions. Never mind. This is gonna be hard. But the way that I want to... The way I want to, like, make combat situations... Again, like, this is my 3rd time saying that usually Wizards of the Coast module combat isn't very narratively or, like, it's not interesting, right? Like, I want to think of combat as a set piece. This is an exciting set piece. So I want to make it have a little more focus on terrain, a little more focus on positioning, because to me, that's probably the most interesting part of combat. Where and how can I hit the hardest while being protected myself? So here on this map, I mean, I also just kind of wanted a town square map. But you have kind of like cover here, you have a bunch of cover here. This guy's very fast. I'll switch his token. He's very fast. I think he's like 40 feet? 45 feet. That's a bit of movement. But you do have a lot of places to hide. There's a lot of choke points that you could possibly have. And I think that's interesting. And if my players want to be challenged a little more tactically and in combat, boy, I'm giving you stuff to play with. And I want to hit that home, and I'll definitely talk about that with them. Because I want to be 100% transparent about the things that I do and why I do them. So that being said, this is probably all that we're gonna do. Our sessions are much shorter than regular D&D sessions. They're usually between like an hour and a half to 2 hours. They're not that long at all. So this combat will probably take the entire time. And if not, if for some reason they're very quick about defeating this guy. I should talk about a little bit about what that means for the town of Kresk. So Mandy's guide says that after this fight, basically Kresk is fucked. Absolutely, positively fucked. I actually, and I think I like that. I think I like that as a conclusion, because things in Barovia are kind of fucked. They do have this, which is the Fidadov Manor, where, because the main thing in Kresk is that they are, they're heading into a famine right now, and now that all of their sheep are gone, Ooh, that's awful. So the main, the thing, the main solution, I guess, is another mini adventure. This is the Fitidov Manor. This is self-made by Mandy herself. God bless. Her maps are also very, yeah, look. Or no, that's not it. She has them on another site. I'm too lazy to look at it now. There's probably a hyperlink here. But honestly, I kind of think that the Fitidov Manor doesn't fit all that much, because you have this, if you have this family that's just like hanging out here in Kresk, why didn't you just ask them for help in the first place? So I guess I'm gonna look at this a little bit more and kind of decide if I want this in my game, because I also kind of like just like the direness of leaving Kresk just completely devastated by their lack of food sources. Now their leadership is entirely in shambles, and there's nothing you can do. I kind of like that. I don't know if that makes me like a fucked up person, but I feel like that's also kind of a part of the horror. This is a horror story. Even though you guys are heroes, you can only save so much, you know? So they're going to meet this woman named Lady Marilina. Oh, she was an ex of the Baron? Okay. Curse, Eternal Groundhog Day. Oh, okay, so there's some playing with time. I'm just skimming at this point. This is a lot. And unintentionally, mirror battle. Okay. So there's a mirror battle in this. Okay. Okay. And there's another maze. Okay. So there's a mirror battle and a maze. Keep going, keep going. Go up. Yeah, I'm really tempted to just kind of scrap this and just say Kresk is fucked. I just think that's a lot better thematically. Oh, hello. Death Hound. Okay, so I think my main yeah, what's the conclusion? Okay. In this timeline, Dimitri decided the mix-up was for the best. With Lady Fitidov's assistance, they'll have enough food to go around and last winter. Maybe this will be something that I talk about with my players, in terms of like, what do you want to see thematically? We did talk about how this is a horror game, definitely is, but like, or like, is dire straight starvation? Is that where you draw the line? I'll definitely look at this a little bit more. But I think that might be it. It's been 2 hours. And especially for my Curse of Strahd game, I don't need to prep all that much. Everything's already been prepped. So yeah. I think that's the TM prep done, I guess. This has just been a lot of me talking through some things. We did we did plan a lot of things, that's for sure. Now putting them actually into execution might be a different stream. I don't know. But this has been a lot of fun. Talking to the creator and some other people from the GUBAT BANWA Discord has been a lot of fun. And I hope to see you in the next stream, which is probably going to be video games, because this is tiring. DM prep tiring. Also, I don't need to do it every single day. But we're probably gonna be playing some video games. I'll see. I'll see what's up. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for giving me the time of day. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.